Hello friends, my name's Jonathan here with Mission Viewfinder, and today I have a friend with me who is a missionary in the Philippines, and I wanted to ask him some questions about how he got involved in missions and his experience. So this is my friend Daniel. Good to see you again, Daniel. It's been a while.
Thank you. Yeah, it has been quite a while.
Yeah, so where are you working now?
Currently I'm working in the Philippines, on the island of Palawan, southern Palawan specifically.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And what are you doing there?
I'm a volunteer missionary pilot and mechanic, paramedic, whatever the need is.
Right. What was it that made you want to be a full-time missionary overseas?
As a young person, I really struggled knowing what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't have a clear focus like a lot of my friends did. And eventually I settled on becoming a firefighter paramedic, because at the time a lot of the young guys around my area were doing that, and it seemed like a fun job that I could see myself moving on to that next stage and making money, moving on with life. And then at some point in time, God led me to take a year off to go to a Bible college called Wachita Hills College. And it was during that year that God used some experiences to reshift my focus for life. I remember one of the classes I took reading a quote in the book Desire of Ages that I had never read before. Basically the quote said, no matter what one's calling in life, his first interest should be to win souls for Christ. And after reading that, I was forced to the realization that my first interest for life and my life future and vocation or calling was not with ministry in mind. So after that, I began to prayerfully ask God what He wanted me to do with my life, and after a number of experiences, He led me here.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's great. So that focus went from you and what you want to do in, the stages of life that you saw to God has to be first.
Absolutely. Sometimes we can think we're putting God first, and we can go through, like I said, those various stages, still go to church, still pay our tithes, still be good Christians or Seventh-day Adventists, and have a total disconnect between that calling and ministry. And so it was when God reshifted my focus that I began to realize that God has a greater purpose for all of our lives than I had realized before.
Tell us a little bit more about what type of work you do. You said you're a mission pilot.
Yes.
What exactly are you doing, on the ground practically?
So I volunteer with an organization called PAMAS, or Philippine Adventist Medical Aviation Services. So it started out as an aviation ministry. So the aviation aspect, we actually run a volunteer air ambulance service to remote and isolated areas in the Philippines. So we fly to islands, support of missionaries, and bring people to the hospital, and also areas in the mountains that take hours and maybe even days to hike to. We can fly there in a matter of a few minutes and bring people out to the hospital.
What is one experience that you've had, being a pilot here, that really you look on it and it's that makes it worth it?
Over the years, there have been a few times where I have thought, what impact am I really making for God? Because there are many different types of ministries, and like I said, we support a lot of the hands-on, direct contact type of ministries with other missionaries working among the natives, but sometimes the role that I have is more of a supporting type ministry, where we're helping them with their face-to-face contact and moving the gospel forward. And so there have been times when I question, who am I really bringing to Christ, or what am I really doing that is that important? But I remember one medevac in particular was to a island that is 99% Muslim. A lot of the areas we fly to are Muslim, or in the mountains they're animist natives. And one of the young boys I picked up with, he had a subdural or epidural hematoma, basically a bleed in his brain. And he was unconscious by the time I got there. And he vomited blood in the helicopter on the way, remained comatose. And I remember bringing him to the little local hospital, and normally I just drop off the patients and then continue on my way, but I was really impressed that this young boy needed more care than the local hospital could give. So as I was walking back out to the helicopter, I had this impression, you need to go back in, offer to fly him to the capital city. So I walked back in, and even before I could offer, the head doctor there at the ER, she asked me, can you fly this boy to Puerto, the capital city? So we flew him out to the capital hospital, and that boy survived. And I remember a number of months later coming back and seeing him having grown up more, and the father, and they were just smiling and waving, and they came to express their thanks. And that moment, even if at that time they had not come to know the Lord, it just gave me such a thankful heart to realize that through this helicopter and through the hands that God had given me, we had been able to give this young man a chance at a second life. And through that chance at second life, then God had another opportunity to bring that boy to him. And of course, there have been stories where, of course, people have come to the Lord and that kind of thing. But even just one life saved, one soul saved, all of our efforts would be more than worth it. And we've been able to see that many, many times where people say before the missionaries, before the helicopter came, many people died. And after, now many people live. And, Christ came to give us a chance at life. And so what a privilege it is to seek to give others another chance at life as well.
Yeah, that's really awesome that, it's not like you're necessarily bringing every soul to Christ that you come in contact with, but you're an expression of God's love to them in rescuing them from, if they're on that island, they can't get to the capital city quickly to save this boy. But with a helicopter, you're able to, get them. And yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah, and of course, we do have Bible workers and baptisms, and we do bring people to the Lord through the ministry and assisting others. But yeah, either way, Christ said, "In as much as you have done it to one of the least of these, my brethren, you have done it unto me." And so it gives them a chance to see Christ's love in action.
So how long are you going to be a missionary?
Well, by God's grace, we should all be missionaries lifetime.
Yes.
Of course, I don't believe that everybody has to be an overseas missionary or a pastor or a teacher, but I do believe we all need to be missionaries wherever God places us. So that's what that life focus is about, that whatever vocation, whatever career, whatever calling, whatever place God puts us, that we need to make that our mission field.
Wow. Absolutely. I totally agree. So thank you so much, Daniel.
You're welcome.
God bless.